Hello, everybody, and today I'm here to talk about Daredevil Episode 4. Sorry I'm late on this review. I've been busy with some other things, but I'm here to talk about Daredevil Episode 4. So far, this episode was definitely a stepper up from the last few episodes. It still has that slow pacing, but I can tell what's going on in these 4 episodes as Matt is making his next move against the Kingpin, as more and more people want him to be outed as the criminal that he is and not be the mayor anymore. And they're starting to even get suspicious about Vanessa as more exposure is going on with Fisk. But we also have a new threat. We got the return of Bullseye, who is now going on a crazy rampage as he literally murders a bunch of anti-vigilante task force cops. He basically impersonates the Punisher in some way. Like, he says he's at the diner he's at, but once these cops show up, Dex just immediately starts murdering a bunch of these cops with his perfect throwing abilities. He's able to just stab them with forks, knives, just any kitchen utensil he could find. And the way that these cops die is just super badass to look at. You just feel the energy, the dark energy in this episode for sure, as Matt is also investigating what could lead to these rampages going on, as he's able to also sneak into the church dressed as one of the cops in disguise, and he actually confronts one of the youth people there. I forget what they're called in the church, but we also get some flashbacks. I don't know if it was footage from the Netflix show, but we see a much younger Matt Murdock with his dad, Jack Murdock, who, died in the flashbacks of Daredevil. When he was a boxer, he basically died because he was trying to protect Matt from being harmed by criminals, and he forgot to pay the people that he was working with or whatever. That's basically the story. We see just a little glimpse of it. I thought that scene was really nice. We also get the return of Matthew Lillard in this episode. He does some talk with Kingpin, of course. It was cool to see him. Not sure what his role is going to be in these episodes, but I will have to wait and see. We also see the niece of the White Tiger who died in the first season. I don't know if they're setting her up to be the White Tiger. Honestly, it would be really cool to see the return of Ava, who is the White Tiger. I mainly remember her from Ultimate Spider-Man, which is completely different from Daredevil, of course. But if we do get White Tiger, that would be awesome, for sure. But the episode does end on a crazy note, as everything is building up for the Kingpin, as he is going to be in a boxing match with one of his rivals, and we actually see that take place. And the way they fight in this episode was brutal. Fisk is able to just smack a punch on his opponent, and just blood just spills out everywhere. It's as brutal as the Rocky movies, the Creed movies. That's what the vibes I got from this boxing scene. I don't know if it's like that in the comics where Fisk is boxing, but the way it goes down is super entertaining, but it gets interrupted by the return of Dex, who is actually trying to find his way to kill Fisk and assassinate him after everything that went down in season 1 of. Even Daredevil shows up once the crowd starts going crazy, as Dex is able to just kill more goons, of course, with their machine guns. But Vanessa shows up. She's watching the fight. She even pulls out a gun and shoots Dex through the hip. And I thought he was going to die, but nah, he just gets injured. But he's able to break one of the trophies at the tournament, and he throws it at Fisk, but he's able to bounce it off with his champion belt, and of course it scatters everywhere, but it ends up stabbing Vanessa, and blood just pours all over her dress once Daredevil shows up, and we don't know if she died or not. I don't know if she is gonna die, but it causes Fisk to freak out, of course, and of course the episode leaves on a cliffhanger. But this episode was definitely more entertaining. We got some good scenes with Matt and Karen. We got some wild scenes. Of course, some bloody scenes, some bloody action. That gives me vibes from the Netflix show, of course. But whatever they're going to do with this season, I'm really curious, for sure. But negatives, it would probably have to be out. I still want to see more scenes with Charlie Cox's Daredevil, since I think he has so much potential with this show. Honestly, even Charlie Cox said himself that he could play this role until he dies, just like how Wolverine's gonna be playing Wolverine till he's 90. That's crazy, of course, but whatever Charlie Cox does, I'm really up for it, since I really love this character and definitely want to see more characterization with Matt Murdock, for sure, as he is a fugitive, but also he's went missing. So I'll probably give this episode probably an 8 out of 10, for sure, or 7, whatever you want to call it. So be on the lookout for my next Daredevil review. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time.